Your cat reads you. Not your words, your face. And she does it far more accurately than you think. While you're convinced she's sleeping on the radiator with her eyes closed and oblivious, she's actually looking at you through narrowed eyelids, reading every micro movement of your eyebrows, lips, and shoulders. Over the past 10 years, scientists have proven this in rigorous experiments. Cats can distinguish between a smile and a frown and behave completely differently depending on what they see. She knows when you're upset before you even realize it. She knows when you're angry, even if you're silent. She knows when you're tired, crying inside, happy, or worried. Friends and family sometimes miss these signals. A cat doesn't. Now you'll learn 7 things your cat reads from your face every day, and why she often sees you more accurately than anyone who can speak. And the most amazing thing is, she doesn't need a single word from you to do it. She uses a language that allows cats and humans to understand each other much better than is commonly believed. The last point is the most striking. It explains why a cat sometimes comes up and rubs against you for no reason. And she does have a reason. You just don't notice it. First, she can tell the difference between your smile and your frown. This is no longer a hypothesis, but a strict scientific fact. In 2016, University of Auckland researchers Moria Galvin and Jennifer Vonk published a study with a long academic title, but a very clear conclusion. Cats react differently to their owner's face, depending on whether they are smiling or frowning. 12 cats and their owners participated in the experiment. The owners were asked to show the cat either a smiling or a frowning face, without saying anything, gesturing, or vocally enticing. The result was unambiguous. When the owner was smiling, the cat significantly more often displayed positive behavior, approaching, rubbing against their legs, purring, settling on their lap, and staying nearby longer. When the same owner was frowning, their behavior changed. The cats either walked away, acted more cautiously, or even kept their distance. In other words, a cat doesn't simply see your face as an image. It interprets it and makes a decision based on that, whether to approach or retreat. And here's what's important. This sensitivity was weaker with strangers. The cats responded specifically to the emotions of their owner, the one whose face they'd studied for months and years. This means your cat doesn't just know how to read faces in general. She knows how to read yours specifically because she knows you. In other words, learned observation, accumulated over years of living together, develops into an almost infallible skill at reading you specifically. Another important detail from this study, the cats responded not to vivid, theatrical emotions, but to the most ordinary, everyday ones, a slight smile and a barely furrowed brow. They don't need you to cry or laugh. A micro-expression, the kind you might not even notice on your own face, is enough. Second, she notices that you're upset before you do. Cats aren't just sensitive to big emotions like a smile or a frown. They pick up on micro-signals that most people around you don't even notice. A subtle tension in the jaw, a few millimeters of downward movement at the corners of the lips, a slowed movement, a heavy exhalation. All of this registers in their files and is interpreted as something's wrong. Many owners notice. On a bad day, a cat will come and settle down next to you, even though they usually keep their distance. This isn't magic or a sixth sense. It's simply the result of a cat observing you for hours a day and knowing your normal state down to the smallest detail. Any deviation from the norm, and they see it. Sometimes a cat picks up on your state before you even realize it. Before you've even formed the words, "I'm sad," they're already coming toward you. Many owners later admit, "I didn't realize I was feeling bad until the cat came to me." This isn't a cat's intuition in the mystical sense. It's just that your body is sending out stress signals before your brain has time to process what's happening. And the cat is reading these signals directly, bypassing your conscious awareness. Third, she reads your tension in your shoulders and back. The face is half the story. The other half is the body. A cat has an exceptionally keen eye for movement and body position. Its hunting nature requires it to instantly read body postures to determine whether its prey is frozen, ready to pounce, or relaxed. It applies this same skill to you. slumped shoulders, a hunched back, and stiff movements. To it, all these signals mean something is wrong. But straightened shoulders, a light gait, and relaxed arms mean the opposite. You enter the room tense, and the cat abruptly jumps off the couch and leaves. It's not a whim. It's its reaction to your body, which is signaling danger even without your knowledge. Fourth, she can hear your mood in your voice before you even get down to business. Cats don't understand the meaning of words, but they do understand the music of speech. They interpret a high, soft tone as security, a low, harsh tone as a threat, and they distinguish a huge number of gradations in between. You can talk on the phone in a completely neutral tone about work-related matters, but if your voice becomes tense, your cat will hear it and become wary. She often reacts to your phone conversation long before you raise your voice, because she's been anticipating the upcoming increase based on micro-changes in timbre. The opposite is also true. If you come home and speak with your usual intonation, your cat recognizes your "everything is fine" from the first phrase you utter. A curious detail. Researchers have long established that cats distinguish their owner's voice from the voices of strangers. They react to it completely differently than to any other. Your voice acts as a security marker for her, and she instantly picks up on any deviations from the familiar melody of this voice. Your tone wavered, you became hoarse, your speech speed changed. She already knows that you're not having the most ordinary day. Fifth, she senses your fear and anxiety through your scent. And here's a factor that almost no one knows about. In addition to their face, body, and voice, cats have another sense, the sense of smell, and it's the most honest because you don't consciously control scent. When a person experiences fear or severe stress, the body changes the chemical composition of sweat. It contains specific compounds that we don't notice, but which are easily detected by the sensitive nose. In 2023, a study was published showing that cats react to the scent of human fear much more strongly than to the scent of a neutral state. Their stress levels rise, they become more wary, and sometimes retreat into hiding. So, when you speak to a cat in a calm voice and smile, but inside you're shaking, she knows it. You won't fool her. And this explains the strange cases when a cat seems to see right through you and is anxious at the same time as you. It works the other way too. When you're relaxed and content, your body releases a different cocktail of compounds, and the cat interprets them as safe, you can approach. That's why cats in a calm home are more likely to be affectionate, while in a tense one, they hide, even if nothing is outwardly happening. The scent of your emotions is the most honest report of your state, and your cat reads it 24/7. Sixth, she memorizes your normal version and checks it daily. Here, a cat works not as an analyzer of individual emotions, but as a comparison machine. It has a very precise picture in its head of how you look, move, sound, and smell when you're normal. Every time you appear, the cat silently compares you to this standard. And if something is off, even by 10%, it notices. That's why many owners report how their cat suddenly began acting strange a day or two before they themselves began showing symptoms of a cold or other illness. This isn't a diagnosis. It's simply a deviation from the usual pattern, which the cat notices before you even realize you're getting sick. People close to you usually don't have this kind of hourly model of you. They see you in increments and don't have time to detect subtle shifts. A cat, however, lives within you as if you were in an environment and sees you as a whole day. Seventh, she's not rubbing against you just like that. She's repairing you. And the most astonishing thing, the reason it was worth watching to the end, is that when a cat notices something is wrong with you, it has no words to say, "I see you're not feeling well." But it has a way of acting, and it uses it. Rubbing against you, jumping on your lap, snuggling, climbing onto your chest to purr. These aren't random gestures of affection. They're specific behaviors that are triggered when its internal meter tells it, "My human isn't normal." In cat language, this means something like this. "I'm here. I'm close. My body is warm. I'm purring. I'm giving you my stability." Cats have lived alongside humans for millennia and have evolved to be little living regulators. A warm, purring, rhythmically breathing body reduces blood pressure and anxiety in humans on a physiological level. This has been measured and confirmed. So, when your cat suddenly stops what she's doing and goes to cuddle up to you for no reason, she has a reason, and that reason is you. She's read your face, body, voice, and scent, realized you're not okay, and has come to fix it. Most owners at that moment think, how cute, a kitty just wanted to cuddle up, and don't notice they've just received help. And here's what's especially interesting. Cats do this selectively. They don't come to just anyone who's hurt. They come to their own person. This is the same selectivity they exhibit in any other important behavior. Her kin-centered caregiving program, which, in the nature of the species, is intended for members of the same cat group, comes to you. At that moment, you're not her master, you're one of her own. And when something one of her own hurts, she goes to fix it. Now go back to where it all began. Friends and family sometimes miss your hard times. They don't notice, they don't have time, they don't pay attention. A cat never misses them. Not because she's smarter or more attentive, but because she has something people don't. 8 hours a day of observation, 4 simultaneous channels of perception, face, body, voice, scent, and 0 social filter that would prevent her from coming over and staying close, even when you don't ask. A friend sees you for a minute at a cafe when they meet, and often that's a snapshot of you in the everything's fine mode you switch on when you meet. A cat sees you when no one else sees you. In the mirror in the morning, tired in the evening after work, at night when you can't sleep. She sees the whole picture, while people see fragments. Tonight, when your cat suddenly comes over and settles down next to you, don't brush her off or shoo her away. She didn't just come for no reason. Just sit. Place your hand on her side and breathe. She's read you more accurately than any therapist, and now she's working to make you feel a little better. Let her do it. And while you're at it, blink slowly, looking into her eyes. It's her way of saying, I understand. Thank you.